All right, America, let's talk about the US federal budget. It's basically a giant spreadsheet that determines how the government spends your hard-earned tax dollars. Think of it as the country's credit card statement, except instead of buying avocado toast and ride-sharing, it's funding things like defense, healthcare, and education. Now you might be thinking, John, budgets are boring, and you're not wrong. But here's the thing, this isn't just some abstract document. It directly affects your life, from the roads you drive on to the schools your kids attend. Understanding where the money comes from and where it goes is crucial for holding our elected officials accountable. Plus, it's good to know if we're heading for a fiscal cliff or swimming in cash. Spoiler alert, it's complicated. So, buckle up, because we're about to break down the US federal budget in a way that even a toddler could understand. First things first, let's talk about where all this money comes from. Contrary to popular belief, the government doesn't have a magic money tree. Shocking, I know. The majority of the government's revenue comes from taxes. That's right, folks. Your paychecks, your online purchases, even that pack of gum you bought at the gas station, they all contribute to the federal coffers. The biggest chunk comes from individual income taxes, followed by payroll taxes, which fund programs like Social Security and Medicare. Think of it like this. Every time you buy something, you're essentially giving the government a little thank you gift. Except it's not really a gift, and you don't get to choose what they spend it on. Now let's move on to the fun part, spending. The US federal budget is measured in trillions of dollars, which is such a mind-bogglingly large number that it's practically meaningless. To put it into perspective, if you stacked $1 trillion bills on top of each other, it would reach further than the moon. That's a lot of cash. So, where does all this money go? Well, the biggest slices of the pie go to mandatory spending programs like Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. These programs provide essential services to millions of Americans, and their costs are largely determined by demographics and healthcare inflation. Then there's discretionary spending, which includes things like defense, education, transportation, and scientific research. This is where Congress gets to flex its budgeting muscles, deciding how much to allocate to each program every year. Section 4, Ballmer breaks it down, understanding the magnitude. Now I know what you're thinking. John, this is all well and good, but I'm still having trouble wrapping my head around these numbers. And you know what? You're not alone. That's why we're bringing in a special guest to help us out. Former Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer. Ballmer is known for his energetic personality and his ability to explain complex concepts in simple terms. So Steve, how would you explain the sheer magnitude of the US federal budget to the average American? Imagine this, Ballmer bellows, his voice booming with enthusiasm. You've got a giant swimming pool filled with money. I'm talking Olympic-sized, folks. And every year the government has to figure out how to spend every last drop of that money. It's a massive undertaking, see? Even Steve Ballmer thinks it's insane. Section 5. The big spenders: defense, healthcare, and Social Security. Now that we've established that the US federal budget is really big, let's take a closer look at some of the biggest line items. First up, we have defense, which eats up a sizable chunk of discretionary spending. The United States spends more on defense than any other country in the world, which, depending on your perspective, is either a testament to our commitment to national security or a colossal waste of money. Then there's healthcare, which is a major driver of both mandatory and discretionary spending. With an aging population and rising healthcare costs, this is an area where spending is only going to increase in the coming years. And of course, we can't forget about Social Security, the beloved program that provides retirement benefits to millions of Americans. Social Security is facing some long-term funding challenges, but for now, it remains a top priority for lawmakers on both sides of the aisle. Section 6, the bottom line, your money, your future. So, there you have it, a crash course on the US federal budget. It's a complex and often confusing topic, but it's one that affects all of us. As citizens, it's our responsibility to stay informed about how our government is spending our money and to hold our elected officials accountable. After all, this isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet, it's about our priorities as a nation. It's about investing in our future. And it's about making sure that everyone has a fair shot at the American dream. So the next time you hear someone talking about the US federal budget, don't just tune them out. Pay attention, ask questions, and get involved, because the future of our country depends on it. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our Fact by Us channel for more videos like this. Be sure to leave a comment below with your feedback and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our new videos. See you in the next one.